All right, check this out. This famous MMA fighter who is always praising Donald Trump seems to have changed his mind. In the middle of the night last night, he tweeted, "Did we make a mistake? This ain't America first." On top of that, we have farmers across the country who voted for Trump that are now saying, "Did we make a mistake?" A lot of our subsidies are frozen right now, and Trump has offered no real explanation. Even Travis Kelce, who just praised Trump, is now a little bit mad after Trump made fun of Taylor Swift. We'll break all of this down, but let's start right here. Let's start with a really good example. Trump tweeted over the weekend, quote, "I will be signing an executive order next week, ending the ridiculous Biden push for paper straws. Back to plastic," really focusing on the main priorities here. And someone responded, and I verified, this is a MAGA account. Someone responded, "Sir, what about lowering the prices for groceries? You said you were going to lower the prices for groceries, and that's why I voted for you. I didn't vote to change straws or take over countries. Lower the prices of groceries. Do your job." Well, I have some bad news for you, Easy Money 777. Money won't be too easy when Trump enacts his tariff plan, when Trump begins to alienate us from some of our closest trading partners and doesn't give any time for manufacturing to reshore. We have more examples like this. Let's get on to Sean Strickland. I find this one uniquely fascinating because Sean Strickland is an MMA fighter. Some of you may have heard of him. He's very controversial and loud and rambunctious. Definitely got hit in the head a few too many times, if you know what I mean. And he said, "Let's go Trump. 1798 mass deportations." Now, this was a few days before the election. This was November 2nd of 2024. And last night, Sean Strickland tweeted out, this one is glorious. He said, "Man, if Trump keeps this BS up, I'm about to start waving a Palestinian flag. American cities are shitholes, and you want to go spend billions on this dumpster fire. Did we make a mistake? This ain't America first." And at least Sean is asking the right questions. Yes, you made a mistake. Yes, Trump does not want to put America first. Putting America first on the global stage would mean strengthening our alliances with some of our closest trading partners, making sure that Canada and Mexico and Panama and our NATO allies are all taken care of and they are ready to fight back against the countries that aren't America first. Putting America first would mean focusing on domestic prices while making sure our alliances are strong. So rather than putting tariffs, why don't you actually focus on job growth rather than firing tens of thousands of hardworking civil servants for absolutely no reason? Why don't you focus on anything else, Trump, other than the Panama Canal, Canada, tariffs, plastic straws, Taylor Swift? Nothing that this guy is focusing on is helping everyday Americans. And by the way, he lied. When he said he was going to end the Ukraine war in 24 hours, that was a lie. When he said he was going to start no new wars, that was a lie. He's immediately posturing towards Middle Eastern countries, towards our next door neighbors. But it gets even better. Carlos Turnbull posted, "My wife called to tell me that some friends of ours who are cotton farmers in Oklahoma just lost their biggest contract with a Canadian buyer. The buyer felt there was too much instability, so he signed the deal with a cotton producer in Brazil. The Trump effect strikes again." And is that putting America first? Is alienating our allies to such an extent that they outsource their manufacturing or they start to rely on other countries? Is that putting America first? Because I just don't see it. On top of that, many farmers are now on the hook for millions of dollars after Trump freezes USDA funds. Now, if you guys saw my video the other day, there was a farmer who was incredibly panicked that he may lose his farm entirely after Trump's pause on federal grant funding ended up hurting the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and many farmers that have deals with the U.S. Department of Agriculture are now shit out of luck. I mean, the Biden administration very intentionally crafted the Inflation Reduction Act and crafted many other pieces of legislation so that farmers could be micro-targeted and could get the types of subsidies they need. But just listen to this. Farmers report missing millions of dollars of funding they were promised by the U.S. Agriculture Department, despite promises from the Trump admin that a federal funding freeze would not apply to projects directly benefiting these individuals. On his first day in office, Donald Trump ordered the Agriculture Department to freeze funds for several programs designated by Joe Biden's signature clean energy and healthcare law, the Inflation Reduction Act. Like I said, it's almost like the Biden administration knew what they were doing when they were targeting these farmers with relief. The freeze paused some funding for the department's Environmental Quality Incentives Program, or EQIP, which helps farmers address natural resources concerns. Now, with this money frozen, these farmers are on the hook. Let's take Laura Beth Resnick, for example, who runs a Maryland flower farm. She said she signed a contract for the Agriculture Department to cover half of a $72,000 solar panel installation. In late January, she said, she was told her reimbursement payment was rejected due to Trump's executive order. Let me just put this into perspective. Not only is Laura Beth Resnick, this farmer, getting fucked over, but tons and tons of farmers spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on new equipment. They paid for it, waiting to get a subsidy, waiting to get a reimbursement. Now they are on the hook. Imagine going to buy a $50,000 new car, right? And the government tells you, hey, we'll pay you back half of that. We'll pay you $25K, so the car is cut in half. And then you go and buy the car, and then right after you buy it, a new administration comes in and says, you know what? You don't get your reimbursement. You're on the hook for all $50,000. This is happening to business owners, to farmers. And as somebody who runs kind of a small business on YouTube, there is nothing more stressful than having overhead, having new overhead, new equipment that you bought, or new stuff you're funding, while having a decrease in revenue. So what these farmers are seeing right now is an increase in overhead, like this lady who spent $72,000, and she thought that it would be subsidized, yet it's not going to be. That could ruin somebody's life, and Donald Trump doesn't care. We have one more story of Travis Kelce, who's Taylor Swift's fiance, husband. Did they get married yet? I don't know if they're married, but a few days ago, Travis Kelce said he was very, very honored to have Trump at the game. Now, once Trump was at the game, Taylor Swift got booed at by a bunch of Eagles fans because she switched teams, or whatever you want to say. And then Trump tweeted on Truth Social after, I'm glad Taylor Swift got booed. She's very unliked, disliked, whatever the hell he said. And this article reads, Trump's seemingly unnecessary dig at Swift prompted several strong reactions from fans on social media, and Travis Kelce himself wasn't too thrilled with the president either. Quote, Travis believes that it was unnecessary for Trump to take a dig at her, especially after he voiced that he was honored for a president to be there. Again, Travis Kelce said, I love that Trump is here. It's great that Trump is here. And now he doesn't think so. Quote, after Taylor being shut out for a Grammy and Travis losing the biggest game of the year, it hasn't been a good week for them. But he knows that even though this is not a happy ending to the season, they love each other, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, Donald Trump is a uniquely transactional human being. I mean, you can give him your votes, you can give him your love, but that doesn't mean it's going to be enough for him to give you something back. He is that transactional that he will screw anybody over. He will screw his closest allies over, farmers over, Sean Strickland MMA. It's so funny. Almost everybody who gets repeatedly hit in the head for a living ends up being a Trump supporter. And I'll leave it at that. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe. We're barreling towards 1 million subscribers because of you guys, so thank you. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.